friends, in this lecture we will discuss the method of centrifugation in detail. In previous lecture we have started this method, that is the centrifugation, and why this centrifugation method is used, that we have discussed in previous lecture. Okay. So mixtures like milk, okay, ink, blood, these are the mixtures in which solid insoluble solids are mixed in the liquid, but they are very tiny and light in weight. Okay. So to separate these solids from that liquids, okay, we have to use centrifugation method. Okay. Because by the method of filtration as well as settle down method is not effective for separation of these solids from the liquids. Okay, that's why we have to use the centrifugation method. So let us see how it is working, that will we discuss, okay, with the help of diagrams. Okay, so let us see the diagram, how is the centrifugation method. Okay, so let us see, this is the manual. There are two types of centrifuge. Uh, okay, let us see the diagram of centrifuge. This is the diagram of centrifuge. Okay, so here there are test tubes. So let us see, the mixture is in this test tube. Okay, the mixture is in this test tube. How will you separate such solid particles from the liquid? Okay, so here we have to separate the mixtures in centrifugation. Centrifugation, the mixtures are like mixtures like mixtures like blood, blood, milk, ink, okay, etc. We have to separate solids from the mixtures. Okay. So here, how will you separate such solid particles from the liquid? In laboratory, a centrifuge machine is used. In lab, a centrifuge Centrifuge. This machine is called as centrifuge machine. Centrifuge machine is centrifuge machine is used to separate solids. Is used to separate solids. Separate solids from a mixture of liquid and solid. From a mixture of liquid from a mixture of liquid and solid. Okay, so this machine is called a centrifuge machine. Okay, it consists of a disc which rotates like a fan. It consists it consists of a disc. It consists of a disc which rotates like a fan, which rotate like a fan, like a fan at high speed. At high speed, at high speed, a force, a force is generated which pushes the particles. A force is generated. A force is generated which pushes particles, which pushes particles, which pushes particles away from the center, away from the center. This is very important. Away from the center. That is called as centrifugal force. Okay, on that particles, on that solid particles which are present in the mixture, because of higher rotational speed, okay, they move in outward direction. These test tubes as well as the particles moves in outward direction, okay, because of the centrifugal force. Okay, as a result, solid particles in the mixture in the test tube collect at the bottom of the test tubes. As a result, as a result, the solid particles in the test tube, in the test tube, collect at the bottom of the test tube, collect at the bottom, at the bottom of the test tube. ओके, तर त्यामुळं काय होतात, जे त्यामध्ये मिक्सरमध्ये जे सॉलिड पार्टिकल्स आहेत ते कुठं कलेक्ट होतात, at the bottom of the test tube. Okay, and thereby separated from the liquid, and thereby separated from the liquid. Okay, separated from the liquid. So like that, this is a method that is centrifugation. Okay, uh, when this centrifuge starts rotating, this these test tubes are moving in outward direction. Okay, outward direction. Okay, so the particles, the solid particles which are present in the mixture, they also moves in outward direction due to higher rotational speed of the centrifuge. And this centrifuge consists of a disc which is rotating at higher speed, okay, like a fan, and that's why the solid particles in the mixture get separated from the mixture. Okay, so this is the basic principle. Here, centrifugal force is acting on the particles, and that's why separation of the solid particles from the mixture takes place. Okay, so this is the basic behind this method. Okay, now write down these things. Then we will discuss last method, that is chromatography. Okay, write down these things. So let us see next method, that is chromatography. Chromatography. Okay. So this is a method if two or more substances are dissolved in small proportions in the same solution. So let us see where this method is used for separation. If two or more substances, okay, if if two or more substances, if two or more substances are dissolved in small proportions, are dissolved dissolved in small proportions, are dissolved in small proportions, okay, dissolved in small proportions in the same solution, in the same solution. तर आपल्या ठिकाणी सोल्युशन एकच असतं, त्या सोल्युशन मध्ये एक किंवा दोन किंवा दोनपेक्षा जास्त जर सबस्टन्सेस डिझॉल्व झालेले असतील तर त्यांना आपण सेपरेट करतो या मेथडनी. दीज सबस्टन्सेस are separated from each other. These substances, these substances are separated, are separated, are separated from each other, from each other by means of, by means of chromatography. Okay, by means of chromatography, by means of chromatography. पहा कोणत्या ठिकाणी ही क्रोमॅटोग्राफी मेथड वापरतात, ज्या ठिकाणी दोन किंवा दोनपेक्षा जास्त सबस्टन्सेस डिझॉल्व्ड झालेले असतील स्मॉल प्रपोर्शन मध्ये सेम सोल्युशनच्या आतमध्ये, ठीक आहे. तर त्यांना आपण त्या सबस्टन्सेसना आपण सेपरेट करतो बाय द बाय मीन्स ऑफ chromatography. Okay, so this method is used in pharmaceutical science. This method, where this method is used, this method is used, this method is used in pharmaceutical, used in pharmaceutical science factories, pharmaceutical science, then factories, okay, pharmaceutical science factories, then and scientific laboratories, okay, and scientific scientific laboratories, scientific laboratories for detecting new ingredients, for for detecting, for detecting new ingredients, new, for detecting new ingredients, for detecting new ingredients and separating components of a mixture and separating separating components of mixture. Okay, components, separating components, separating components of mixture. तर या ठिकाणी पहा ही क्रोमॅटोग्राफी ही जी मेथड आहे ती आपण कुठे वापरतो तर फार्मास्युटिकल सायन्समध्ये, फॅक्टरीजमध्ये आणि सायंटिफिक लॅबोरेटरीज ज्या असतात तर त्या ठिकाणी आपण ही मेथड वापरतो कशासाठी डिटेक्ट करण्यासाठी. डिटेक्ट म्हणजे एखादा नवीन सबस्टन्स डिटेक्ट करण्यासाठी आणि सेपरेटिंग ओके कंपोनंट्स ऑफ मिक्सचर आणि मिक्सचरचे जे कंपोनंट्स आहेत त्यांना सेपरेट करण्यासाठी आपण ही मेथड वापरतो. ठीक आहे. राईट डाऊन दीज थिंग्स देन वी विल डिस्कस हाऊ the components of mixture are separated by using this method. Okay, that is chromatography. So let us see what is the importance of chromatography. Importance of the chromatography. Okay, let us see. Importance. Importance in that it is used to identify components of a mixture. It is used to identify components of a mixture. तर मिक्सरमध्ये जे कंपोनंट असतात त्यांना आयडेंटिफाय करण्यासाठी ओके ही मेथड वापरतो आपण. फॉर एक्झाम्पल इंक. तर इंकमध्ये वेगवेगळ्या कलर्स असतील. ठीक आहे. तर एखादा सपोज ब्लॅक इंक आहे तर त्याच्यामध्ये ते ब्लॅक इंकमध्ये कोणकोणते अदर कंपोनंट्स आहेत किंवा ती ब्लॅक इंक कोणत्या कोणत्या वेगवेगळ्या कलरनी बनलेली आहे. ठीक आहे. तर हे आपल्याला आयडेंटिफाय करण्यासाठी आपण क्रोमॅटोग्राफी मेथड वापरू शकतो. त्यानंतर ड्रग कॅन बी आयडेंटिफाईड इन ब्लड ऑर युरिन बाय क्रोमॅटोग्राफी. तर बऱ्याचदा आपल्याला निकोटीन वगैरे चेक करायचं असतं ब्लडमध्ये. ओके, जे की खूप स्मॉल प्रोपोर्शनमध्ये असतं ब्लडमध्ये. ठीक आहे. त्यांना आपण किंवा एखादे ड्रग्स वगैरे असतील ते ब्लडमध्ये किंवा युरिनमध्ये चेक करण्यासाठी जे की स्मॉल प्रोपोर्शनमध्ये असतं ब्लडमध्ये तर त्यांना पण आपण आयडेंटिफाय करू शकतो बाय युझिंग क्रोमॅटोग्राफी. ओके. सो ड्रग ड्रग कॅन बी आयडेंटिफाईड. ड्रग can be identified drug can be identified in blood or urine in blood or urine by chromatography by chromatography. Okay. तर ब्लड मध्ये किंवा युरिन मध्ये जे ड्रग आहे ते आपण आयडेंटिफाय करू शकतो या मेथडनी. देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ क्रोमॅटोग्राफी, पेपर क्रोमॅटोग्राफी अँड column chromatography. Okay, so types of chromatography. So first one is paper chromatography, how the paper chromatography is there. Let us see paper chromatography. So in this there are two phases. One is stationary phase and other is mobile phase, that is solvent. Okay. So let us see, there is a beaker like that and we have to take the filter paper. Okay. Uh, and on that filter paper we have to mark one dot with the help of ink. Okay. So let us see here, this is the beaker and we have to put this filter paper upright in this way. Okay. We have to put this filter paper like that. The dot should not dip into the water. Okay, like that. Let us see. So this is the paper chromatography method, uh, and this is the arrangement like that. So this is a paper, this is a paper, and this is the solvent. Okay, this is what solvent, that is water. Solvent, that is water, and we have to make dot here just above the dot, should not deep into the water. Okay, dot of ink. So this is the dot of ink. We have to check, we have to detect the components present in the ink. Okay, so this is the ink dot. आपल्याला इंक मध्ये जे कोणते कोणते वेगवेगळे कंपोनंट्स आहेत जे की स्मॉल प्रोपोर्शन मध्ये असतात त्यांना आपल्याला आयडेंटिफाय करायचं असतं. त्यामुळे आपण या ठिकाणी असा एक डॉट दिलेला आहे. ठीक आहे. So what happens? So in next stage, let us see this water. Okay, this water is the mobile phase. Okay, so here let us see what happens exactly here. Okay, so let us see. This is the original dot, and the water rises in this paper due to the capillary action. Okay, water rises in this paper due to capillary action. Okay, and the components in the ink which has least molecular weight. Okay, least molecular weight, that color will go to the upper side. Okay, and the different colors are separated in this manner which are present in the ink dot. Okay, like that. So these are the basically different colors. We are drawing with the same color here, but actually they are different color dots. Okay, so this is in this paper chromatography. There are in this there are in this there are two phases. There are two phases. Okay, त्या ठिकाणी काय असतात, दोन phases असतात. First one is stationary phase. Stationary phase, and that phase is stationary phase is what, paper. Okay, and second is mobile phase. Mobile phase, and that is the water or solvent. Okay, so this is the mobile phase. This water rises in the paper due to the capillary action, and the component in the ink which has least molecular weight, that color will go to the upper side of the paper. Okay, and below that different colors are there whose molecular weight is higher. Okay, so like that we can detect the different components in the mixture, and we can separate them like this. Okay, so this is the paper chromatography. Okay, so in these some points you should write. Okay, so let us see. We are in the first method of chromatography, that is paper chromatography. Okay, paper chromatography. Paper chromatography. So in this method, in this method, in this method, the water, the water rises due to rises in the paper. Okay, due to the capillary action, due to the capillary due to the capillary action. Okay, due to the capillary action, water rises in the paper due to the capillary action. Okay, now, okay, and water's capillary action. Okay, so ink separate into colors. Okay, in this ink ink separates ink separate into colors, ink separate into different colors, into different colors, ink separate into different colors, present in it on the basis of present in it on the basis of on the basis of molecular weight, on the basis of molecular weight and type. ओके, तर हे जे कलर्स वेगळे होतात ते कलर होण्यासाठी काय कारणीभूत असतं? डिफरन्स इन मॉलिक्युलर वेट ऑफ द कंपोनंट्स ऑफ द मिक्सचर. तर त्या इंकमध्ये जे काही कंपोनंट्स असतील त्यांचं जे ते जे डिफरंट कलर्स असतील किंवा जे डिफरंट कंपोनंट्स असतील त्यांचं काय असतं? मॉलिक्युलर वेट डिफरंट असतं आणि त्याच्यामुळं ते डिफरंट लेवलला काय होतात? राईज होतात ते कलर्स. ओके, and that is the principle of separation in the paper chromatography. Okay, understand? Remember this is very important. Okay, that is paper chromatography. Write down. And second method is column chromatography. This is not in your syllabus. Okay, but remember, uh, second method of chromatography, that is column chromatography, and in that method we have to take the test tube, or tube which is open from the bottom, okay, and we have to fill the stationary phase, that is silica gel or chalk powder in the tube, okay, and over that we have to take the sample, okay, and above that we have to load the mobile phase like water, okay, and here also same principle is that the component in the mixture whose molecular weight is less, that will go to the bottom of the tube, and the component which has higher molecular weight will at the upper side of the tube, okay. So we can separate the component of mixture from bottom of the test tube, okay. So this is the column chromatography, okay, column chromatography. So in chromatography, what is the basic principle of separation? So due to capillary action, mobile phase will rise in paper, okay, or will come down in the test tube, okay, in the column chromatography. And in paper chromatography, water rises due to the capillary action in the paper, and the components of mixture, okay, due to difference in their molecular weight, they will rise to different, the colors of the ink will rise to different levels, okay, and the and this is the basic principle behind the separation of components of a mixture, okay. So hope you understand all these things in very well manner. So in this chapter we have discussed about elements, compounds, and mixtures in detail. Okay. Lastly, we have discussed different methods of separation of mixtures. Okay, different types of mixtures. And in the starting lectures of the topic, okay, we have discussed about elements, different elements. Okay, their symbols. Okay, and then we have discussed about compounds, okay, different types of compounds, chemical formulas of compounds, what is meant by compound. All these things we have discussed in this topic, okay. Hope you understand all these things, okay. So now we stop here. Keep studying. Thank you.